all. Today with us is His Excellency Ngomat Stephane, Chairman of African Peace and Security Union. Today he is here in UAE, Dubai. He's on a special mission, and later today he will be signing an agreement in UAE with Indian counterparts who are investing and creating opportunities in India in line with African Peace and Security Union. Here, how are you doing today?
No, I'm very good, and thank you.
So please tell us something about yourself.
Okay, I'm Stephane Ngomat. As you have well said it in your introduction, I'm a diplomat by profession. I'm also an expert in international relations, peace and security. I'm from Gabon. Gabon is a country that is located in Central Africa, and I'm the current chairperson for the African Peace and Security Union.
His Excellency, please tell us something about the vision and approach of African Peace and Security Union for Africa.
Yes, the African Peace and Security Union is an organization that aims to promote peace, security and stability in Africa and foster African integration and development. So we work in many sectors. Our key thematic areas are in early warning, which is the conflict prevention. We also work into mediations, also into peacemaking, and we have also a program of PCRG, which is a post-conflict reconstruction and development. We also promote youth peace and security agenda, women peace and security agenda, and also we are into security sector reform, and we fight against the proliferation of small arms and large weapons. So we are really engaged in terms of peace and security through advocacy and lobbying, and we work to promote peace and security on the continent, which is Africa.
Wow, that's great, sir. But if I ask what African Peace and Security Union has done so far for Africa, what some of the things you can list?
Yes, we have done a lot in terms of promoting peace and security, such as the Caravan of Peace, which was held in Africa in the 5 regions of the continent. We promoted peace, and we also make sure that women are involved into the peace and security matters, especially in the peacekeeping. So we advocate for that, and we work on daily basis especially on women peace and security, and also on the security sector reform, because we're pushing for the people to own the security sector, because the security sector must not be a taboo for our people. They must own. For us to have a lasting peace, we need to include the people. So we have done a lot of capacity building conferences to empower Africans in the peace matters, for them to become peace ambassadors in their communities and also in their villages and their regions. And it has been worked so far, and we are happy about the result that has been done in terms of empowering, capacity building, training, because we also have a training sessions in which we train Africans, and we make sure that there is a skill transfer from peace and security perspectives.
Okay, His Excellency, please tell us the background of this African Peace and Security Union, who all are involved, and how is the functioning happening? Yeah,
it is located in Africa, as you said, in the 54 countries of the continent, and so from Egypt to South Africa, from Morocco to Gabon, from Addis Ababa to Senegal. So it's the entire continent, and we working for the culture of peace to be promoted, and for us to make sure that our people, the government of Africa, are into peace and security process, especially in terms of conflict zone, and we support all the cases that allow us to make sure that there is a post-conflict reconstruction, especially development, because we focus also on development to make sure, because you can't speak about peace and security without development, or you cannot speak about development either without peace and security. So we want an integrated, peaceful and prosperous Africa, and for Africa to be prosperous, we need peace and security. So that is the background on what we are advocating, and we are lobbying to the head of state and government, to the officials of Africa, to make sure that peace is a reality in the continent.
Wow, that is really wonderful. But sir, this is a challenge. What hurdles do you face? What hurdles do you face, in doing all this?
Yeah, in terms of the challenges that we face, because as I was saying, especially in the security sector, there is a perception, even by our officials, that security is something that belongs to the government, that belongs to the military, and these perceptions, we are getting away from that and making sure that is a people-owned process, because the security and the peace is for the people. And we want to make sure that the people own the process. There is the ownership by the people, in which work in collaboration with the government, with the specialized agencies, with the regional mechanism, and so on. So we are into that. We face challenges, but we are overcoming them step by step through the vision of a peaceful Africa.
Absolutely, sir. But if I ask you, what African Peace and Security Union is looking forward in non-African community, what support they want from non-African countries?
Yes, we want to externalize our partnership, because African Peace and Security Union belong to the world community, and we see the world as a single village. So we want support from external out of Africa to support us, especially in the post-conflict reconstruction and development, and to make sure that they partner with us. So because the peace in Africa is a peace to the world, and one of the key, if you can remember, of the key factor that led to the creation of the UN, for example, it was because of peace. After the Second World War, there were a war, and the head of state at that time wanted a peaceful world. So a peaceful world starts by a peaceful Africa. So if Africa is peaceful, the world will be peaceful. So we want to engage the world community outside Africa to support Africa, to support African government into the peace process, and to make a peace a reality. That is the Africa we want.
So why you chose UAE for signing the agreement here?
Yes, UAE is a strategic country in the world, and most of businesses, most of interaction is done in the UAE, and we think that the UAE can be a key factor to promote the peace and security on the continent. And because of that, we came here to meet all the stakeholders, because we want also to promote the private sector, because sometimes private sectors are left out in the peace process, while they're supposed to be responsibility for the private sector to play a key role. The peace and security is a shared responsibility. So we want private sectors, we want civil society organizations to be part of the peace process, and to make sure that peace is well conducted on the continent. So for us, UAE is a strategic country in the world, and we want them to promote us and to make sure that they support our initiatives towards a peaceful Africa.
Wow, that's really, really wonderful, sir. Hopefully this works out. And now there are a few questions I want to ask you, but if you don't want to answer, you can skip the question.
Okay.
Okay, so my first question is, so far we have not seen African Peace and Security Union playing in action or in role in Africa. Why?
No, there have been many things that has been done by the African Peace and Security Union, especially in terms of advocacy, in terms of lobbying, in terms of calling government to be accountable. Mm-hmm. So things has been done. There are actions that has been done, but we want to diversify our partnership and make sure that the world come to Africa for a peaceful Africa, because the world need to contribute to the peaceful of Africa, because it's for the good of the world. A prosperous Africa means a prosperous world. Absolutely. A developed Africa means a developed world. So we want the world to work together towards a peaceful Africa. That is our aim and the actions that we are pursuing.
So, what do you think how African Peace and Security Union can help in African building economy?
Yes, one of the key matter is on promoting partnership between the African Peace and Security Union and the private sector, the multinational companies, the companies that work not only in the field of peace, but that as businesses, enterprises, and so on. So we want to build a strong partnership between all segments of the world population, of the world categories. We want to build the partnership and make sure that through partnership, through business and win-win partnership, we can achieve our aim, which is a peaceful Africa. So we focus really on partnership in this end.
Okay.
So the conversation with you is lovely. It's going on and on and on.
Thank you very much.
But I really want you to please introduce the gentleman sitting next to you.
Yes, we have here our good friend, Mr. Ozwemena Prince Kamjika. Is a peace ambassador because he's also a peace lover. He loves peace and he wants to promote also peace in the continent. As Africans, he feels that it is his responsibility to promote peace and also to be part of this great journey for a peaceful and secure Africa. So he's a peace ambassador in this regard.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome to UAE.
Thank you.
So please, you tell us something about your vision. How do you see Africa through African Peace and Security Union?
Core vision, as His Excellency had earlier mentioned, is to make sure that Africa is stabilized in terms of security. And of course, he had mentioned economy. We want a stable economy, as it were.
Sir, thank you so much for talking to us. Sir, I want to ask you a few more questions.
No problem. Go ahead.
So what is the need or what is the benefit of African Peace and Security Union for Africa?
The need and the benefit, as we said, is to promote the early warning system. We want to be involved into the conflict prevention, to prevent conflict. But in order for us to be able to prevent conflict, we need investment. Without investment, we can't prevent conflict because people need to find jobs. Africans need to get jobs, need to be in the good condition. So one of our main core is to avoid, to promote investment in the continent, to get partners that can come and invest in Africa in multi-stakeholder sectors. It can be in any sectors of investment that will create an economic boom for the continent, that will develop the continent, that will make the continent to be prosperous. Then based on that, we will be able to avoid conflict, to prevent conflict, even to anticipate conflict, because young Africans will get the jobs.
Absolutely.
Young Africans will be in good conditions, so they will not think of going for war, of being stakeholder in violent extremism, because they will be busy working. So we really want to promote the investment. Private sector is a key stakeholder for a peaceful Africa.
His Excellency, if I may ask, in figures, African Peace and Security Union, how much in figures they are looking out for investments?
In terms of figures that we are looking, we want the international communities to come and invest on the continent, no matter how.
Right.
Africa is a land of opportunity. Africa is a land of business. Everything needs to be done on the continent. In terms of infrastructure, in terms of energy, in terms of water, in terms of sanitation, in terms of road. So Africa is a land of opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I want to launch a great call to international community, to investors which want to come and invest in Africa. Feel free to come. We shall support you. We shall make sure that your business in Africa, your investment in Africa is a success story.
Wow, that is wonderful, sir. Sir, it's a long journey, obviously. You guys have started, you're working, but in how many years you see Africa can develop and the changes you want to incorporate will happen? In how many years you see it?
Africa has a blueprint, like a roadmap that we call Agenda 2063, in which the head of state and government of the continent made together, they put in place that blueprint, Agenda 2063. So we are targeting to make sure that there is an integrated Africa, there is peaceful Africa, and there is prosperous Africa by 2063, so 2063. So that is the target that head of state and government of Africa are targeting for the development of Africa.
So we wish you all the best, sir, for this. But my last question to you is, which countries are you specifically targeting, or it's open for all?
Africa is open for all. Africa is open, especially India. India, as we know, is an emerging country. India is part of the BRICS, and India is part of the G20. So Africa countries want to get investment from India, want to benefit from the perspective, the development, the well-known of India. And we want to call also Indians companies, Indians investment who want to come to Africa and invest. Feel free and come. Africa is your land, is the land of opportunity. And we want to develop that tight relationship between Africa and India in terms of peace and security, but also in terms of investment, in terms of doing business together. And I will be delighted to see Indian companies be interested in coming and investing in Africa, especially on road, infrastructures, and peace and security. Everything related to business, investment, come and invest in Africa. And that will be a contribution that you will make towards the development of the continent.
Thank you, His Excellency, for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And it was pleasure talking to His Excellency. That's all for today.